What if the character who can't spell cunning plan is the show's sharpest political argument? Today, we break this story into 6 parts to prove it, step by step. You'll see how rebellion can be incompetent, ambition can be idiotic, and power can be inherited like a bad joke. And in the end, we'll fuse them together and show why this structure gives the series its sting. Section 1. Baldric. What if the man with the worst plans speaks the clearest truth about power? Baldric works as the anti-intellectual everyman. He hurls cunning plans that collapse on contact with reality. But in the crash, you see the wiring. His blunders map the rigged rules. Borrow from the wrong person and the numbers eat you. Accuse the wrong woman and the trial is already staged. Stand in court and you learn ceremony beats sense. He's mocked as dim, yet he keeps spotting the con. That's the trick. Across eras, he shifts from a sometimes sly fixer to a trenchmate who understands what jokes cost. Watch the small beats. Nobles pose about honor. He nods, accepts the unfair price, and carries on. No fanfare, just the receipt. His illiteracy and literal mind scrape off euphemism. He doesn't dress up exploitation. He names it. He counts meals, coins, and cuts. That blunt survival math clashes with Edmund's elegant cynicism. Which one actually sees the system's teeth? Here's the payoff. His failures are the thesis. Rebellion starved of learning and power turns into slapstick, and the laughter stings because it's truthful. Hold that thought. If incompetence can be honest, what happens when competence is aimed at climbing the ladder? Section 2. Percy and Darling. Why do climbers keep face-planting in Blackadder's world? Lord Percy chases status through alchemy, dressing the part with a lab, gear, and scholar vibes. He trusts formulas like they're a shortcut to class. Then the reveal hits. His gold is worthless. It's the costume of knowledge without the substance, a try-hard Renaissance cosplay that leaves him red-faced and lower on the ladder he's climbing. Captain Darling plays a cleaner game. He polishes his uniform, nails the tone, and worships procedure. The front line turns that faith into a joke. Paperwork can't stop shells. His zeal for forms and protocol meets the math of war and loses every time. That's not random misfortune. It's design. Aspirational loyalty looks safe, but it's a tool. Percy and Darling absorb elite logic so deeply they act like manuals, not people, which makes them easy to use and easy to mock. The latter promises progress, but it leans on a wall that's already crumbling. Here's the mini payoff. Chasing legitimacy inside a broken system teaches you how to be used more efficiently. You end up shiny, not safer. So if loyalty folds the second it meets reality, what happens when power doesn't need to chase or prove anything at all? Quick pause before we dive into the next hidden meaning. If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We've got even deeper Blackadder's theories. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. Section 3, Melchett and George. What if the most dangerous fools are the ones born in charge? Melchett barrels through scenes with blustering certainty, the sound of authority doing most of the work. George floats beside him with sunny aristocratic ease, a grin that says the system will sort itself out. Confidence becomes armor. You hear leadership, you don't get it. Then the mask slips. A rousing briefing promises glory. You already know it buys carnage. A strategy session swaps plans for rhetoric, turning risk into a pep talk in a courtroom farce. Volume and rank squeeze out logic. The language makes horror sound tidy, like a memo filed and done. The satire isn't that they're monsters. It's that ease at the top breeds choices that crush the bottom by default. Failing upward needs bodies to step on, and George's warmth sharpens the knife. You like him. That likability launders the machine. Here's the sting. When cheerful tradition meets industrial war, manners become a weapon by omission. No sneer, no mustache twirl, just ritual, confidence, and a schedule. Orders go out, Silence follows. Then we count. We've met rebellion, ambition, and inheritance already circling each other. So where does the moral center settle when charm, volume, and optimism keep winning the room? Baldric's moral gravity. Why does the least capable man keep anchoring the stakes? Baldric sits at the center without speeches or titles. He shows loyalty without illusion and care without padding. He stands next to Edmund, not beneath him. And that steadiness becomes the gravity that keeps scenes honest. He won't deliver a grand monologue. He isn't the architect of schemes. So, how does he move the ethics? By asking the one plain question no one else will. When a court parades fake logic, he cuts through with "carrots don't grow on trees," and the spell breaks. When an election plot spins wild, his deadpan plan about waiting till after the beheading exposes the panic driving it. His small acts do the heavy lift. A warm word, a shared ration, a blunt "why." Edmund slows, recalculates, and sometimes backs off the worst version of himself. That isn't worship. It's companionship. Simple solidarity in a world drunk on rank. Then the trenches turn the joke tragic. His loyalty has nowhere to land. The emptiness indicts the system more than any speech could. The mini payoff is quiet. Baldric saves Edmund's soul by witnessing him. No flattery, no spin. Just a gaze that holds. Not all allies are steady. What about the mirrors that chase his hunger and get burned? Percy/Darling as mirrors, not sidekicks. What if Edmund's real rivals are his reflections? Percy and Darling mirror his vanity and ambition, but they miss his clarity. They reach for the look of power, robes and rhetoric, stamps and forms, without paying the cost of seeing how power actually moves. They copy the pose, not the grind. Each tries to be Edmund Light and stalls. Why? Because they think polish equals power. Percy's pseudoscience treats knowledge like a costume change. Darling's office politicking treats rank like a magic spell. Edmund reads the room instead. Power, to him, is leverage plus timing. Here's how it plays. He feeds Percy a hint of prestige and lets pride steer the rest. He hands Darling a procedural maze and waits while duty ties the knot they trap themselves. He just nudges. Their failures don't make him noble, they make him look competent by contrast. His cynicism reads like skill because the bar is buried underground. In a world of cosplay authority, basic perception wins. Mini payoff. By failing upward and sideways, Percy and Darling confirm Edmund's worldview. Validation seekers invite exploitation, which he delivers as survival. That joke lands on him too. If mirrors keep proving him right, what happens when this triangle collides with the weight of the establishment? Melchett/George and the cost of polite catastrophe. How do good manners hide a body count? Melchett's Blair and George's Sunshine sell you safety. That's polite catastrophe. Harm wrapped in cheer, delivered with titles and smiles. The tone says order. The outcome says damage. You feel reassured even as the gears grind. Their charm disarms you. Their decisions disarm Edmund. A rousing speech swells. Then the room empties and the air goes still. No fanfare follows the order. Just the hush after paperwork. The wait after a toast. The gap between what's said and what happens is the joke and the wound. Here's the twist. The rot isn't cackling villainy. It's ritual that keeps running when the ritual fails. Meetings, medals, minutes. The machine smiles as it jams. Edmund tries logic. He brings numbers, angles, simple risk. Tradition answers with drums, optimism, and a timetable. He can't argue with a march. He can only watch it roll. Mini payoff. When politeness runs the board, cynicism can't win. It can only witness. That's the bleak edge the show leans on. It hurts because the mask never slips. It simply keeps talking in the right tone. Now fold that with what we've seen. Witness, mirror, mask. and you start to see the design we need to name next. Section 4. The synthesis. Here's the twist. The sidekicks are the argument. Set them on a triangle. Baldric is honest incompetence. Percy and Darling are aspirational obedience. Melchett and George are inherited confidence. 3 ways to play the game, 3 built-in failures. Each leg breaks in its own way and pins Edmund in the middle. He feels for Baldric. He sneers at Percy and Darling. He deflects Melchett and George empathy on one side, contempt on the other, pressure from above. That squeeze makes his snark feel sharp but hollow. He reads the rules right, times the moves, wins a scene or two, and still can't move the needle. It's like calling the score in a rigged match, accurate and useless. Here's why the sting lasts. Baldric gives the heart that keeps the jokes human. Percy and Darling give the mirror that shows Edmund's own rot. Melchett and George give the mask that lets harm wear a smile. Then the endings hit. Witness, mirror, mask all close in, so there's no exit, only truth, proof, and ceremony. That's when the laughs turn heavy. Mini payoff. The secret weapon isn't Edmund's wit. It's how the side characters stage the class system as theater and make that theater hurt. If this broke through, you know what to do next. When rebellion is incompetent, ambition is obedient, and power is inherited, wit turns into a eulogy. The jokes keep landing, but they read like last rites for a trapped world. If you want more deep dives into how character design drives satire, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment with the side character who changed how you read the show. What are your favorite side character moments from Blackadder? Share your most memorable scenes featuring Baldric, Percy, or George. Thanks for watching. Let's get to it again next time.